first ever women's tag team champions. 6 teams inside the Elimination Chamber, including Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville from SmackDown.
Sonya and I have been making history since we got up to Raw. We were in the first ever women's Royal Rumble match, the first ever Elimination Chamber match, the first ever Battle Royal at WrestleMania. So it only makes sense for Sonya and I to become the first ever women's tag team champions inside the Elimination Chamber match.
We've been through so much together. There's nothing that we can't do together, and that's a fact. You go inside that chamber and you land on that grate outside of the ring and you tell me you know what it feels like, because we do. We know what it feels like. We've been in that position, we've been down there, and to say that that's an advantage would be an understatement.
They call themselves Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and there is the Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley.
What an impressive human being Bobby Lashley is. And here comes his opponent this Sunday.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, Finn Balor!
He has developed quite the issue with Bobby Lashley as of late. And I want to take you back to Monday Night Raw from a couple of weeks ago, after Finn Balor had been beaten and battered in a match for the Universal Championship with Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. The next night, 24 hours later on Monday Night Raw, Bobby Lashley, Corey, would take advantage of an injured Finn Balor.
Finn Balor certainly still feeling the effects. That did not matter to Lashley, who was anxious to make a statement at the Irishman's expense. And the Almighty did exactly that. A trio of hellacious spine busters.
And then last week, Lashley ducked out of a match with Finn Balor and put his hype man, Lio Rush, into this matchup. Not before Lashley would beat up Finn Balor.
Lio Rush, incredibly impressive, but Balor had a little more than the man of the hour could handle. Finn would fight through the agony, ascend to the top, and deliver a coup de grace to the hype man to pick up a big-time victory.
And because of that victory last week, Finn Balor has now earned himself this unique championship match Sunday at the Elimination Pay-Per-View event. It's a handicap match, 2-on-1 against Lashley and Lio Rush. Balor can pin or submit either Lashley or Lio Rush to win the Intercontinental Championship.
We could finally see a stroke of luck here for Finn Balor. I mean, if he were to go in there and get that pin over Lio Rush, he could be walking out as a new Intercontinental Champion.
Finn's going to need more than luck this Sunday to dethrone the Intercontinental Champion, especially when you got a talented competitor like Lio in the ring at the same time.
And his opponent, from Ayr, Scotland, weighing 265 pounds, Drew McIntyre!
The Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre, who has developed quite the rivalry with Finn Balor since returning to the scene here in WWE.
I feel like Drew McIntyre is an issue with everybody here in WWE as of late, but especially Finn.
Elimination Chamber is presented by the new film Fighting With My Family, based on the true story about WWE superstar Paige, produced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. In theaters Thursday, Valentine's Day, everywhere, February 22nd.
So it seems Drew McIntyre has a problem with everybody in WWE. That's because he absolutely does, Renee. I talked to Drew earlier today, and he said, make sure they know. Make sure the world knows that my plans were derailed. I am now carving my own path to WrestleMania.
Certainly wins that got to stack up as we are heading out here on the road to WrestleMania. I mean, any bit of victory helps with that momentum.
And again, Finn Balor has a championship match in 6 nights at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And you see Lashley and Rush up on the apron, and McIntyre from behind going after Balor. And Balor is in deep, deep trouble in this matchup tonight. Not only McIntyre in the ring, but the forces outside.
Finn Balor, week after week, constantly has the odds stacked against him.
Balor's made a career out of defying the odds, overcoming adversity. That said, the Scottish psychopath has one mission in mind: make an impact at WrestleMania. And if that means taking out Finn Balor tonight, he'll do just that.
This looks like he's in his happy place. He's inflicting damage on other superstars.
He wants everyone to savor the suffering.
Oh, McIntyre upset as well because he believed he was going to win the Royal Rumble match, that he was going to headline WrestleMania.
Mocking of Finn Balor.
Those were the plans that Drew McIntyre referred to earlier today. He thought it was a foregone conclusion. He was going to win the Royal Rumble match and headline WrestleMania. That didn't happen, so Drew is a extra miserable, bitter version of himself.
You can imagine what that does to any man as WrestleMania is looming in the future, but Drew McIntyre's been derailed before. He knows how to get his train back on the tracks.
He absolutely does, and Finn Balor finds himself on the tracks while the train's coming through right now in the form of the Scottish psychopath as Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush look on.
Yeah, Lashley and Rush against Balor on Sunday, and is there a champion's advantage in this match Sunday?
Well, there's certainly an advantage for Bobby Lashley. Lio Rush fighting alongside you. That said, you now have a liability, so to speak. We know Finn Balor has defeated Lio Rush. It happened last week. Finn knows that he can do just that. It could be a liability. It could be an advantage. We won't know for sure until Sunday.
Yeah, Balor can somehow take Lashley out of the equation momentarily to focus on Rush Sunday. And there's Balor and McIntyre now. Fight it out on the apron of the ring.
Such a heavy forearm from McIntyre.
And quickness.
Drew might have separated his shoulder.
And this is Finn Balor's opportunity. McIntyre down and out outside the ring.
Finn Balor's MO. You're going to use quickness. You're going to use technique. You're going to take high risks.
But from behind again, Rush and Lashley. And they're laughing about it. And Finn Balor makes Lio Rush pay.
Dead connection.
And now Balor turns his attention to McIntyre. Sling blade from Finn Balor. And Balor driving McIntyre into the corner. Face first off the turnbuckle. McIntyre's in the drop zone. Balor's going to go up top. And Bobby Lashley. And this is going to force the official to call for a disqualification. He had no choice. Lashley getting physically involved.
Oh, listen, Balor was in a downright unwinnable situation tonight. And now he's the recipient of a beatdown.
Well, yeah, McIntyre and Lashley been running buddies for a long time here on Monday Night Raw. Have inflicted a lot of damage to many superstars here, and now again turning their attention to Finn Balor.
Remember what Lashley and McIntyre accomplished alongside Corbin, shattering Braun Strowman's elbow. Hang on!
The Hall of Famer!
The American hero, Kurt Angle!
Kurt Angle's back, and now McIntyre and Angle. Kurt Angle into the ring, going right after Lashley.
Be careful, Kurt. You're running into the lion's den.
German suplex. Kurt Angle now a German suplex to McIntyre.
Oh, take one, Leo.
And now Lio Rush, the hype man.
Oh, no.
Ankle lock.
What if Kurt snaps Leo's ankle before this Sunday?
Good.
He could very well do that. Meanwhile, from behind, Baron Corbin.
Baron Corbin evening the odds.
Baron Corbin just can't stay out of the business, ever.
Baron Corbin, the man who has ruined Kurt Angle's life the past few months.
Forgive me, but last week I believe it was Baron Corbin who was the recipient of a brutal attack from Kurt Angle and Braun Strowman.
Yeah, after a matchup, as you see Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre now, this trio taking out Angle. But here comes the cavalry.
Someone's about to get these hands.
The monster among men, Braun Strowman, marching for the ring. Strowman going right after McIntyre. And now Lashley.
Clubbing blows from Strowman.
Oh, into the barricade.
There aren't too many people that can throw Bobby Lashley around like that.
Braun Strowman's cleaning house.
And now he's got his eyes set on the man he cannot wait to wipe off the map.
Better run away again, Corbin.
Baron Corbin, the reason Strowman's no longer isn't Universal Champion today. Headbutt to Corbin. And Baron Corbin.
Oh,
McIntyre
coming to the aid of Corbin.
Yeah, saving his buddy.
Well, it pays to have allies around here.
Balor, Strowman, and Angle standing tall here on Raw. First ever women's tag team champions, 6 teams inside the Elimination Chamber, including Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville from SmackDown.
Sonya and I have been making history since we got up to Raw. We were in the first ever women's